I am your voice.
Your voice, America. Your voice, America.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Campaign Corner. I'm Sherry Wassell, and today I have with me Douglas Tuman. He's running for the U.S. House in the great state of New York in the 4th District. Douglas is an attorney. He serves as the Commission of Engineering in his town of West Hempstead there in New York, and he also hosts a show on YouTube called, it's a cryptocurrency show, and it is called Monero Talk. Douglas, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's the town of Hempstead. I'm the Commissioner of Engineering in the town of Hempstead, which is a big part of my district.
Yes, yes. So you're in New York. How's it going there with the virtual campaign and your crazy governor and mayor there?
Well, we've had to be creative around here. So it's hard to campaign in times like this, and it's hard to really approach people in times like this when they're obviously concerned about more important things than people running for office. But we've been doing what we need to do. I actually had a virtual event. I had an online Zoom fundraiser, which was very cool. We did like a trivia game show, and we charged whatever anybody could afford. It was kind of like a suggested donation of $25, but we had
Sure.
sponsors, and it was just a way to get people going again. But yeah, it's been tough. Obviously, with the lockdown, that's been a big part of what I've been focused on. I'm of the belief that it's time to open things back up.
Right.
Maybe even to not necessarily take a phased approach, but to kind of more aggressively open things back up now that we're actually seeing the data and we're realizing that this thing, as bad as it is, it may not be as bad as we originally thought based on the original projections.
Sure,
It
absolutely.
isn't necessarily something that's 50 times worse than the flu. It may only be, maybe 2 times or 5 times
Right,
the flu.
right.
But yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, let's get into your talking points, because it actually, I mean, it's really, really important to be running for office. There's so much that you can do if you get in there and you can serve your constituents. So first talking point, the voter's voice. You really want to see a representative who is truly of the citizens who live in your district. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is something that I've always had kind of a belief in and a passion for, and it's something a project I worked on many years ago before deciding to run for Congress. And it's this idea to improve representative democracy in the United States. So at the end of the day, what a congressman really is there to do, more than really any other elected official, is to represent his people or her people and to advocate on their behalf in Congress. So I created a text polling system, and the idea is to basically get feedback on issues. So during the campaign, it's to get feedback on issues that are on my platform. And then if I win, to actually continue to use that polling system to get feedback and to help that determine how I then legislate in Congress. So the idea is we'll sign up everybody, all constituents. It's, I'm running on the Republican ticket, but it's not about just hearing from the Republicans. So a lot of what this is about is solving that problem of once somebody gets elected, they then just kind of fall in line and vote in accordance with their party and not necessarily with their people. So obviously I'm a Republican first, but I really want to always continue to hear the voice of my people and use that to determine basically how I legislate in Congress.
I think that's excellent because, like you say, you are going to be the representative of Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, unaffiliated. So I think that's great. Next talking point is infrastructure. As an engineer, I think you know a little bit about that. Tell us what needs to happen with infrastructure.
Yeah, so I'm the Commissioner of Engineering for the town of Hempstead, which basically is my district. The town of Hempstead covers more than 3/4 of the congressional 4th district. So I'm intimately familiar with all of the infrastructure issues throughout the town. I know this is kind of a nationwide program, but it's located on Long Island, which got hit very hard by Hurricane Sandy. So a lot of the things that need to be done are resiliency for the next storm, and I, as being Commissioner of Engineering, I kind of spent the first few years kind of assessing all the problems and then implementing creative ways of tackling them. And my hope is, if I do get elected, I'll know what needs to be fixed and know what federal dollars need to go towards. One major project is potentially building floodgates on the South Shore to prevent major flooding damage during the next hurricane or whatever it may be. But yeah, definitely intimately familiar with it, and it's a big part of my campaign. And I met a lot of great people in my job working as a commissioner of engineering through the projects that I've done through the town. And yeah, I hope to utilize that in my run for Congress.
Yes, it'd be great for your district, your state, and also the nation. Infrastructure is something that President Trump wants to see happen nationwide. So that's a very important topic. Let's talk about affordability in your district in New York. You're saying on your website that the seniors are having to leave, the young professionals are having to leave. So they're dealing with that loss of community that they, would love to be able to keep. So tell us about the affordability issue in your district.
Yeah, so this is just an issue that really touches home with me, and I think a lot of people that live here. It's Nassau County is an expensive place to live in. We're right outside of New York City, and there's this kind of I guess at the end of the day, it's a supply-demand problem, right? So I want to do what we can do to maybe help make it easier for new developments to blossom here, to kind of increase the housing, bring down the housing prices. We got to be careful with that. We don't want to, we want it to maintain its suburban feel that what people are used to and expect. But at the same time, we've created a situation where young people that have grown up here are having to leave the communities that they love. And it's just unnatural, right? So, the ideal way is, to be living, with your grandma maybe 2 blocks away and your parents another 2 blocks away. And
Yes.
You go get babysitted by your grandpa. And it's very hard for that to take place right now in Nassau County. And a lot of people are struggling with that. And, they're coming up with creative solutions, but there needs to be a better way. We need to essentially lower the cost of living here in Nassau County.
Yes, I like the word you use, unnatural. I mean, it is natural to want to stay in community and to stay close. Well, I guess if you don't like your family, you want to move. But, for the most part, I think that's a good way of describing it. So taxes are sky high there. Property taxes high as well?
Yeah, property taxes are sky high. Maybe things like simplifying the tax code in general could help things out. Eliminating the federal tax cap on state and local property, deductions that could be made. It's called SALT here. Things like that. And then, maybe reducing regulations, making it easier for development to take place.
Right, more business friendly overall.
Yeah, so these new housing can be built.
Good. Let's talk about your primary. It's on June 23rd, and I believe you have one Republican opponent. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And so we have your website and your Twitter handle up on the screen. And, it's a little bit different right now. You can still get donations, but as far as people volunteering, It's not like they can, right now they can't do door knocking.
This is what I've been, with Corona, it's been hard to go door to door. You can't really hand anything out. So with my daughter, we've been walking around with this little sign here. So this is the phone number to call, 516-308-1703. And that's basically to sign up to this text polling system we were just talking about, right?
Sure.
So, and then we're also using that to help people vote during Corona, because everybody in New York can now vote via absentee ballot.
Right.
So everyone is being sent absentee ballot applications, and then we're looking to essentially help people through that process. So if you text your full name and your birthday to this number, we'll check you in the registered voter database, and we'll help you through the process of making sure you get that absentee ballot in. Hopefully you'll vote for me, but you don't have to. We want to help everybody out. We just want to help people vote. And the idea is, allowing people to vote without having to leave their homes, essentially, during the Corona pandemic.
Very good. Douglas, thank you so much for joining us today. And to our audience, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I am your voice.